Hello everybody, my name is Như. I'm an IS student in level D. Everybody of course have their own fear and challenges. For sure our teacher does too. Have you ever wonder about that? Sometimes I consider how can people overcome their fear or challenges simply and easily. For me, it takes a long time to adapt, and I am easy to be distracted from it. But some people they basic real quick. Today, I'm gonna interview one of IS teacher, that's in Marina, my love teacher in speaking listening class, which is to see how she copes with her fear and challenges. Also, for me, get experience and useful lessons from her. Good afternoon, Marina. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for your time and your willing to help my assignment. Today I'm going to interview you about your fear and challenges and how can you overcome it. Are you ready to start?
Sure.
Okay, the first question is in your life, what have been the biggest fear you had to face?
Oh, this is a tough question. I think we all have a lot of fears, and I think I've always wanted to have a lot of friends. And I remember in school, one of my best friends didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and that was my biggest fear, that I would never have a new friend. And luckily I met new people and made new friends, and so I think that I've learned to work at my friendships and to make sure that I am a good friend myself. That's just one example. I think I've always, I don't know if I have a lot of fears, but one of the things I think that I always think about is I don't want to be in a position where I'm out of a job or I don't have money to provide for my family. So I think I always try to work very hard and to always continue get my education, to make sure that I have a well-paying job and that I can provide for my children, I think.
Oh, that's a good fear, huh? So you think that a positive fear, a positive challenges?
I think for me, yes, because I was able to identify what I was really, what bothered me or I was afraid of, and then I tried to figure out a way to overcome it and to kind of maybe take some steps towards fixing that problem or learning something, a skill, or learning how to be better at something. So I think for me it's been kind of pushed me to be better.
So how can you overcome it?
I think the making kind of the first step is the hardest thing, but I think I'm an optimist, so I always hope for the best, and I don't spend too much time worrying about things, or maybe if there is some sort of a situation where I feel that there's a problem or a challenge or something's not happening the way I want it to happen. I think I'm also I like to look at all the different different ways I can take steps to improve my situation, and then I just start doing it. And whatever, if something doesn't work, I don't give up, and I just say, all right, I learned that this doesn't work, and then I try a different option and different option. So I think that just keep being persistent and trying different things to overcome your fears, that would be a good way for you, for anyone.
Yeah, that's good. It helps you figure out to overcome it. It's kind of practical, not specific. You fear of the height or something, but you fear of life. How to overcome this friend, kind of to survive for your family is good. Have you ever made a decision that later you regretted?
I don't think so, but at the same time, I guess I do, because when I first came to the United States, I wanted to continue my education, and I wanted to go to school, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to study at the time. And I think in a way, kind of wasted some of that time trying to decide if, my family suggested that maybe I should study computers, and other people were saying, oh, maybe you should do this, and but nothing really interested me, what they were saying, and I just kind of didn't do it and didn't go to school. And it turned out to be that I didn't have to have a good job anyways, because I had a master's degree in Russia, but I've always thought about going back to school, and so I'm hoping that one day I can still do it, maybe after my kids grow up. But I think that you definitely need to think about school when you're young, before you have a family, because it's a big commitment. So I would say maybe the decision that I didn't go to school anyways, even though I wasn't sure about what major to study, I think I should have probably gone anyways and just figured it out while I was at school, because now it's too hard to do it.
So what you study in Russia, you cannot like apply in here?
I can. That's why I'm a teacher, because I studied to be a teacher in Russia. But I also think that I wish I had gone and gotten maybe a master's degree or started towards a PhD degree at the time. But I wasn't confident enough, and I didn't feel like, maybe I felt like I should try something new. So I just was confused and then overwhelmed by just moving to another country, and I guess didn't have enough direction at the time.
So the wrong decision that you made and before, does it affect to your life later?
I think it turned out, like I said, that I actually didn't need to go to school, that I had an equivalent of what's required here in the United States to be a teacher, or a professor. But at the same time, if I someday want to teach at a higher university, I probably need to get a PhD degree. And I think once you've been out of school too long, it's really hard to go back to school and be a student again, because now my focus is on providing the best care for my children and for my husband and for my mother, and so now I feel like I have more responsibilities. So when you have a family, it's harder to carve out that time to go back to school and devote yourself solely to studying.
So now you have the idea that you will go back to school and you study to stick in the university?
Possibly, if I decide someday. Yes. So again, it's not. I don't really regret it. It turned out that I was lucky where it didn't affect my job so much. But in the future, still, if I decide to go on to teach in some other places, I might think about going back.
Okay. So when you were in my age, what were your fears for the future?
I think that when I was younger, it was uncertainty, just kind of uncertainty about what was going to happen to me. I remember thinking, would I ever get married, or, will I ever have a family? Will I ever find true love? Will I ever, have a good job? Will I ever have money? Will I ever have a car? All those things, kind of just wondering about what's going to happen in your life. And I think that's normal. That's a part of just learning about yourself and learning about the world, and learning to, figuring out what you like and what you don't like, because it's the time when you stop being a child and then you start becoming a young adult. And in a way, you can listen to your parents, you can listen to your friends, but you have to experience a lot of things yourself to decide if you like it or not. And it's a very troublesome time. So I think that, again, just normal things like friendship and relationships and jobs and career and buying things and being popular and all these things that young people worry about.
So now you pass this age, right, and you get experience. So what advice would you give for all the young people like me? They have the changing times, they worry about love, about career, future. So what advice would you give?
I think my advice would be stop worrying and thinking about it and take action. If you want to, to meet somebody, then you can't stay at home and read books and think about it. That's not going to help you. So I would say be active, get out the door, go join a club, take classes, go hiking, do sports. So just be active and proactive about reaching your goals. Because I think what happens to some people is just when you're young, you just wait for this kind of fairy tale situation where someone just will come, and you will meet this person by accident. But I think I've learned to be more proactive, where I feel like I want to make it happen. I'm not going to wait for it to happen, but I'm going to make it happen. And I think that's that's kind of helps me, because when I have my eyes on something, when I set a goal, I'm pretty methodical at trying to reach it, instead of just kind of dreaming about it. So I think that deciding what you want and then figuring a way to get it, and then taking active steps to getting it. And I think what I've learned also is it doesn't have to be the right decision. Even if you make a mistake and you get it and you realize, I don't want it, it's still a learning experience, because now okay, I don't like that. So now you change your goal and now you have a new goal. So I think another thing is that don't be afraid to fail or make a mistake, because that's the best way to learn.
So now your career, you choose to be a teacher. Even now you are a teacher, and then later you may study to be the teacher in university. So you think what is difficult? Have you ever been in the difficult situation to be a teacher?
I think for me, there are many difficulties, but for me, I think one of the most challenging part is trying to figure out how to get everyone in my class feel interested in what we're doing and connect to everyone in my class. I think that when I was younger, maybe I thought that, if somebody doesn't want to study in my class, that's their problem, it's not my problem. And I would just maybe kind of ignore them and let them do their thing. But I think now I'm really trying much harder to connect with my students and to make sure that they are comfortable in my class and that they are learning and that they are, they can express themselves not only by learning things but also by doing different things. And that's why I do a lot of projects, I do a lot of teamwork, I do a lot of field trips or going places and doing things, because again, I kind of believe in this active kind of learning and active kind of life, where you don't just read and learn things from books, but you learn from multiple sources. So for me, the challenging part is to connect to everyone and try to find out what everyone's needs are, and trying to meet those needs, and not just to teach my way, but kind of trying to customize the different things to different students. That would be probably the hard part.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
I'm a student in your class, and I feel that active teaching and learning, and you try to connect all of us.
Thank you.
I'll just say the truth. Okay, so thank you so much for your help, and appreciate your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good luck.
I'd love to hear your story and your advice. So, again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.